Hello, 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 everybody. Hi there. It's 4:44 somewhere. I know it is in the Eastern time zone. So let's get this shared out to people that we can get in here to hear the angel message for today. I am Marie. Hello, and thank you for those likes. And we're waiting for people on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter to find the broadcast. Hello, Andrea Gregg. Susan Davis, thank you for being here. I'm doing great, Marie. Thank you for asking. It has been an amazing day here in New Orleans, Louisiana, which is where I'm at the moment on the Peace on Earth tour. Ricky Ferrante, welcome to you and Josie, Rick Morrow, Bella, I'm seeing your names come in so fast. As you come in, please tap the screen, hit the like button. That's what that does when you tap the screen, and share it out. You know, the more shares we get, the more people it's going to go in front of. Andrea, thank you for sharing. Annie Seven and Grayson, hello, hello. Auntie Jean, thank you for being here. Melissa, we missed you yesterday. One of our monitors is Melissa Gregorich. She is here. So if you have not followed her yet, please do so. She may be responding to some of your comments and your questions as the show progresses. Every day I come on at this time and I read the angel message that they have channeled for all of us to hear. Brooke, hi, thank you. Ashley, and somebody sent me a rose. Ashley, thank you for the rose. Thank you to everyone who comes in and shares and likes and gifts. I really appreciate that. So on this particular broadcast, I read what the angels have given for all of us. It is a collective message for all of us to listen to respond to. I'd love to have time for any of you to share what your thoughts are on the angel message. Hello, Samantha from Indiana. That's the other thing. Please share where you're from, and let's get this community built up. Share and follow, and then follow each other. Hope Wellington Marshall in the UK. Hi, honey. Oh, my eye's still a little tender, but it's feeling so much better after that healing that I did this morning, that the angels did this morning for all of us. And I think they still have some healing energy left to do. Carla in Arizona, welcome to you. Kansas City, I see you. Oh, thank you. Somebody sent me a tiny diny. I love that. Thank you. Melissa, I'm not sure what happened. I woke up with a swollen eye this morning and it was not feeling good at all, but it's feeling much better right now. So thank you all for asking. I see someone from Michigan and Ashley. Oh, honey, yes, let's definitely do. You have a 7-year-old son with COVID. Yeah, and you have it as well. So let's definitely get some healing energy going. And Jean L'Oreal, thank you for being on TikTok and for being a monitor there as well to help answer questions. All right, let's get to the message that the angels gave. Every night they give a different message and answer a question. Oh, there's another tiny diny. I love those. Those are so cute. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Joanne Castillo, thank you for being here on Facebook. All right. So last night, the angels gave us a message called Speaking Up. The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. And that was said by Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi knew firsthand what it was like to be judged and persecuted. If ever there was a reason to hold anger and bitterness, this man surely had those reasons. However, we got this beautiful message from him and the example of a life which was lived in peace, even in the face of being persecuted. As I think of the many times in my own life when I was bullied and abused, forgiveness was not the first thing that came to mind. It is not an easy thing to be okay with circumstances where someone has done harm to us on purpose. I can only imagine what it was like for Gandhi to face living as a prisoner, knowing that he had done nothing to deserve the punishment he received. I think also of innocent children who are abused and how their lives are affected by the cruel acts of others. Dear angels, sometimes things happen. Start that over. Sometimes things that happen in this world just do not make sense. We cannot bury our heads and ignore injustices. How do we come to a place where we can find inner peace as we have this knowingness that all is not well? Dr. Martin Luther King said that to ignore evil is to become an accomplice to it. What exactly are we supposed to do in response to these things we know are happening in our world? Dear ones, each of you have an innate sense of morality. Thus, you understand when something happens that goes against that moral compass. The experiences that you have encountered in life, even in previous lifetimes, will determine your sensitivity to certain acts that you become aware of that are taking place. While you cannot right all wrongs, you can certainly use your voice to speak up. And by bringing more awareness to situations, you are creating a path to look for solutions. It is natural for you to be upset about the calamities and the turmoil in the world. Dear ones, as long as there are those of you who are shining your light, there will be darkness for it to shine on. This is the duality of your world that you have come into as a light worker. It is not an easy job, yet you chose to step up and do it. Remember why you did so and make peace with being where you are on your path. Know that you are part of a bigger plan and keep your sight on that, as it will keep things in perspective for you. Ask what you can do to add to the solution. Be willing to speak up and stand up for yourself and others in whatever way you are led to do. Sometimes just being a good friend or a listener is what is called for, while other times you may feel you need to take more action to illuminate a situation. Always listen to your conscience and check in with your gut to find the direction you are to go. Stay positive in your thoughts. If you find yourself getting caught up in the spin and chaos in the world, then you should take a step back and observe what is happening. Are you aligning with your higher self and receiving the guidance necessary to see the bigger picture? Or are you being led by your head and your emotions? Positive thoughts have tremendous power and send out tentacles of energy that will raise the frequency on the planet. Never underestimate your power to make an impact in this way. Stay centered and always remember that you are a spark of the divine, doing the best you can in every moment. Stay strong, peaceful warrior. Oh, dear angels, thank you. Thank you. I love you. Today, I promise to use my inner guidance with each step I take and utilize my voice to illuminate the things that I am guided to speak up about. I would really like to hear your thoughts on this. When they gave me this particular message, my first thought was, well, angels, I thought we were supposed to stay in our own lane. how does this correspond to staying in our own lane? But you know, it really does, because if in our lane, we are aware of happenings, and there may be something we can do that is our lane, that is a burden that we hold in our heart. And I loved how they were talking about it may not even be something from this lifetime. There may have been things that happened generations ago, and now it's coming forward for us to deal with, to handle, to say, how do I clear this? How do I stop this energy flow going forward of the low vibration? The Native Americans believe that whatever happens in our lifetime affects those coming into the world 7 generations going forward. Think about that. 7 generations of people are going to be affected by what we are doing right now. And what are we doing? When we look at our planet, we look at the dishonor and the disrespect by so many in the collective, throwing garbage on the ground, utilizing resources like they're going to last forever, that they're not going to run out, hating on each other, doing acts of violence, killing each other. Just think about all the things that are taking place that we don't want to think about. And the angels say we can't just bury our head. We can't just pretend that doesn't happen, because it does happen. So when you receive that burning desire to speak up, speak out, help in whatever way you can. Maybe it's just putting a post on social media to make others more consciously aware of what's happening. You know, just recently, I really had this burden, and I still have this burden, for those who are the victims of sex trafficking and human trafficking. It's really getting to be a horrible problem in our world. And so that was something that I said, okay, what can I do about this? How can I help? How can I add to the solution? Or, as they wrote in the blog, open up a path for a solution to show up. And one of the things that I've been shown is to recognize more of the signs. There are certain ways that we can tell if someone's in distress. There are certain signs that have been shared out in the open for people that may find themselves in that situation. And I can be more aware as I travel through this beautiful country of ours. That's one of the things I can pay attention to. I can pay attention if I see someone that looks like they're in distress. I can open my ears and hear what's going on and pay attention to the signs. And then if I feel like I need to get involved, I can call the authorities and report what I see. There are many ways that we can get involved. If we know that somebody's being abused, that's something that most of the time is pretty obvious. If it's physical abuse, I can speak up. I can befriend someone that I feel like I've been led to, that is just in that space of needing someone to listen to them. There's so much that we can do. We can't just bury our heads any longer. We can't just sit on the sidelines and say, oh, that person will do it. Somebody will show up and help, right? Somebody will help them out. Sometimes it's up to us to be that somebody that's going to do something. I want to see what Jean is saying. Jean Loriot says, earlier in my life, things happened that I thought I could never forgive. After finding the light and walking in love and peace, I let it go. Yeah. You know, Gandhi was so beautiful in his words when he talked about the things that had been done to him and the way he was judged and harshly dealt with for things that, you know, it did not warrant his imprisonment. It did not warrant any of the punishment that he received, as he was only trying to bring peace in the world. He was only speaking out and speaking up and being a voice for those who couldn't utilize their voices. So, Jean, I'm so glad that you were able to let that go. And Jean says, I will speak up to help others find that peace and release that heavy burden. It frees you to forgive. It sure does. You know, I think I used this the other day when I was talking about releasing and letting go of things. If you can just imagine that you have this big backpack and pour all of those things in it, and you can collect them. You can like keep putting things in there. You don't have to do it all at one time. But when you fill that backpack up, just pick it up and see how heavy it is. Try putting it on your back and see what it feels like to walk around with all that energy that you're carrying. Sometimes we carry it for a lifetime. You know, you guys, I did that. I can speak from experience. I was a victim of childhood sexual abuse. That did happen to me in early childhood. And I carried that anger. I carried that animosity and unforgiveness for most of my adult life. It took me most of my life, seriously, to come to a point of letting it go, of saying, I can forgive this situation. And it wasn't about the person that was the perpetrator. It never is. It's never about that person who did something. It's always to free your own energy. That's what the forgiveness is about. That's what the release is about. Oh, you too, Melissa, and it still hurts. Yeah, you know, it's going to keep coming up in a hurtful way until you heal it, until you finally say, I'm done carrying that in that backpack. I am done with having this in my energy field. I don't need it. It's not helping me. It's only hurting me. It's not hurting anybody else. The only person that suffers when you carry that energy and don't do the forgiveness work, the only person is you. Marie says, what all your worries and your fears in a little Jesus box and give it to him. Yes. Put them in whatever container you can envision. If it's a box, if it's a backpack, if it's a sack, whatever it might be, a hole in the ground, whatever it is, just choose to release, choose to let go, because that's when you find the peace and the love. And then if you have a burden placed on you to share your experience or to just be more aware of someone else who is going through that kind of experience. You know, in addition to what happened in childhood, I've also gone through adult physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse. I know what that feels like. And so I can recognize the signs when other people may be going through that and where it's tearing them down and tearing them apart. And I can be there. I can be that listening ear. I can say, hey, if you need somebody to talk to, I'm right here. We all can do that. We don't go through a situation just to go through it. We don't walk over hot coals in a fire just to say, hey, I did that. No, those fires that we go through, that's what shapes us. And that's what helps us then to reach out to others and say, I know what you're going through right now. And I may not know exactly how you feel, but I can guess, I can pretty much resonate with what you are experiencing because I've experienced it and I can feel it. So when we can feel it, then we can start to heal it, right? Hi, Suzanne. Thank you for being on here. Oh my gosh. My Facebook beautiful P family is finding TikTok, and I love seeing all of you that come in on TikTok and help build this community that's on here. So I'm going to get off of Facebook. I'm going to get off of YouTube and Twitter, and I'll only be on TikTok for a few minutes. Let's come in and just have a beautiful discussion. There may be some spontaneous messages or things that the angels want you to know. You're struggling with TikTok. Yeah, it takes just a little bit to get used to. The first few times are strange, but then after that, piece of cake. I love this platform. All right, so I love you all on the other platforms, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. You all take good care, stay in your hearts, and I will see you tomorrow at the same time, 4:44 Eastern time. We'll come on with another angel message.